Can you share with us like 5 steps to get an internship at Microsoft? You started learning to code on paper. How was the experience like, and how was your transition even compared to when you needed to do it fully on computers? How will you say you prepare for the interviews? What is a day in a life of an intern at Microsoft? Your goal was to get a return offer or like just enjoy the internship? What should be the initial goal? I know like I kind of know the response, but
I'm glad that I got a return offer because I didn't have to work on coding interviews.
Hi Khushwin, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well too. Thank you for accepting to share your experience with our audience, and it's a pleasure to have you on this new channel. How is it going for you today?
Today my day has started well. I woke up. I slept in a little bit, because it's the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm ready to start this interview. So yeah.
Cool, and it's a great day today actually. And yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about you. Can you just introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Khushwin, Khushwin Ojeda. I'm an international student, and I come from the island of Mauritius.
Uh-huh.
I'm a senior at Clark University here. Uh-huh. It's my last year, and I'm also majoring in computer science.
Okay, cool, interesting. How are you liking it so far?
So far at Clark, it's been great. I have no complaints, no regrets. I really like my academic experience and also my other forms of experiences at school. Uh-huh. So everything, overall experience, great.
Perfect. And how was the overall experience at Microsoft in Seattle?
So at Microsoft in Seattle, honestly, I really enjoyed it. In terms of like projects, that I did during my internship, I really loved it. The people I met people who were like very talented. Like so talented, I did not believe that. Like I was standing in the same place as them. I also met other interns too who were like in the same same setting as me.
Yeah.
And we were all like trying to explore this big campus together.
Yeah.
So that was really great. Over there.
Great. I kind of like relate to it because like I also did my internship at Amazon in Seattle actually, like you, and like what you say is actually what I also like feel like you have these very talented, creative, and very like driven person who are always into creating new things, like exploring things, and I think learning in such an environment is very fulfilling. And so let's dive deep a little bit before getting to the internship itself. Let's talk about your background. Can you share a little bit your academic background and even more if you want?
Yeah, of course. So I'll try to make it a bit short also. Mm-hmm. So my first introduction to computer science was actually in high school, but we were doing A-levels, and I was learning coding on paper during that time. Over that, my first experience with coding, like the actual coding on a computer, was in college during my freshman year, and this is how I realized I actually like coding, because I realized that I don't know, like it's good to be able to solve problems, to have solutions to problems actually. So that's one of them. And then because of like that realization, I decided to dive deep into computer science, because in computer science, we can do many stuff. We can go into blockchain, we can go into mobile app development, we can do website development also, and there are so many more. But I try to dive deep, try to test each separate fields. And I decided to go with mobile app development.
Nice. Yeah. This is the choice you did at like school, like at university.
Yeah, this is what I did during university. Like it was like a mixture of like doing coursework for school, but I was doing also my own personal projects.
Okay, yeah.
So based on this,
Yeah, because I was about to ask you, like, is it like something related to your curriculum or something you decided yourself? Because like I think for someone coming from high school, you don't know when actually you need to choose what you want to continue doing, because like the computer science like is very huge, like it's a very huge field, and yeah, it can be. But does your internship also help you choose what you want to specialize in, or how was it also?
So the thing is, like, for that, I just decided to go with what I like the most. My internship did not really have like a say in it. But not gonna lie, like even when I applied for my internship and I got it, coincidentally I was placed in the mobile app development team.
Okay.
But I told them before that I had experience in that, so maybe I played a part in it. But coincidentally I was placed in the mobile app development team in Outlook. So
cool. So you also said like you started learning to code on paper. How was the experience like, and compare? How was your transition even compared to when you needed to do it fully on computers?
So back in high school we had to like learn Visual Basic. It's a programming language, and I learned pseudocode before. Pseudocode is just like English-like statements to give you an idea of how coding works. So based on these two, I translated from pseudocode to Visual Basic because there was a big book where I could learn the syntax. And I was just trying to memorize the syntax at this point. Then when I went to college, I started learning Java. Java was my first programming language in Java. And after that, like, you know, like it was weird getting like, because when I came in, my typing speed was like 30 words per minute. that was sort of like, you know, I tried to push through, and I already had the understanding behind, and that was, I think, the most important thing. So transitioning from like paper to actual typing was not as hard as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now let's talk about the internship. Can you share with us like 4 or 5 steps to get an internship at Microsoft?
Okay. First of all, like I don't think there are like any steps that you should take, but here's my roadmap personally. So at first, like I said before, I dive deep into projects, trying to get experiences, even though it's not like an experience at a job, for example, but still valuable experience. That was the first thing I did, like trying to go through everything. Then I started to like work for a startup, but it was like from the beginning, from the scratch. So I was able to take my time into developing, like to work for a startup, right? It was like a stock. I would just give a brief description of like a startup. It was a stock trading company but for Africans only, and they were using the Flutter framework, which is like a cross-platform development for both iOS and Android devices. So I was learning by working there. That was my second form of experience. Another tip I would give would be to practice a lot of coding interviews. Like after going through like working in projects and getting experiences, because coding interviews is what will get you jobs in like. I mean, you will have to go through coding interviews when you're working for like big tech. If you're intending to work for big tech companies such as Microsoft, like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, all of that, coding interviews is very important. So I had to practice a lot of that. And yeah, that's basically it. Experiences, like getting experience through projects and then practicing coding interviews. That's it.
Okay, cool. And what was your application process then? Like you had all these experiences working on like side projects, which help you actually develop your skills and then even be ready for the coding interviews. But how was your timeline in terms of application?
So this is how it was. Like I applied to maybe 117 jobs, but now when it comes to like how I got the Microsoft job, I remember I got a behavioral interview in the middle of October. I did it, and the interview was like very interesting. Like they ask you questions about yourself first. They try to get to know you as a person, to get to know your background. And after that, they ask you theoretical questions, such as like, how would you explain a programming concept to a 5-year-old? You know, to someone who doesn't know anything about computer science. How would you explain that logically to them, or the way that makes sense? You know, like it took me those questions kind of threw me off, but like at the same time, I was able to think well and like be able to respond to that. Then I think I passed the I think I passed the behavioral interview.
Yeah.
Then they moved me to the final round of interview, which was about mid-December.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first applied in October, and then you have your first interview in October also, and then you have another one in December. That's what you're saying.
So what I said is like I applied like maybe late August, got my first interview mid October.
Okay.
And I got the final round of technical interviews in December.
Okay, nice. And how long it took them to give you an answer?
To give me an answer, like actually at this point you just need to look out for emails.
Yeah.
I cannot give you like a specific timeline, but on average I would say from 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And how does like a winning resume look like?
A winning resume. So how a winning resume looks like?
Yeah.
So I would say at first try to, in your experiences, try to quantify your achievements as much as you can. Like let's say if you're like working on an app and you made you say that you let 10 people testing it, mention in your resume that 10 people are testing it. If you made an improvement on something, mention what the improvement is about. Put a lot of numbers as much as you can. Secondly is to link out all your social media or all the links to your projects whenever you have one. That's a good thing to do. Even like I know that I linked out my email address on my resume so that when the recruiter clicks on it, it will open their email app and they can email to me on the get-go.
Oh, nice, interesting.
So that's actually a good thing to do because it will make them like
easier.
It will be easier for them to contact you if they want to contact you. So I feel like that's a good advice. And third of all is like don't try to like put too much stuff on your resume. There's always a right amount of stuff to do. In terms of experiences, in terms of relevant experience, put like in how do you call this, from oldest, from the most recent to less recent. Put all your skills, put all your relevant skills, but don't rate them, because I know that in some people's resume they rate they are like 5 out of 5 on your programming language. Don't do that because people will assume that you're actually an expert in it.
Yeah.
Never do that. What else I would say? And also don't lie about your resume. Like please don't do that because people can check it out.
Yeah.
And you might get into trouble, so don't do that. I think that's all the tips that I have.
Cool. Thank you so much. How will you say you prepare for the interviews? Like if we have like someone watching this video, maybe just got an email from Microsoft or Amazon and he needs to start preparing for his interview, what will be the advices you will give him then?
Okay, one of the advices I would give is like, first of all, don't underestimate the behavioral interview. Like it's very good to know how to portray yourself and how to present yourself to your recruiter, because that's what will get you to the final round of technical interviews. So don't underestimate it. Practice it with a friend or anybody if needed. And now for the technical interview, I would say it's the one tip I have is very straightforward but very hard to execute. Is in terms of like, at first when you start practicing, you will see that even for the easiest problems, you would take an hour or 2 hours to solve it. It would take a lot of time to do it, and sometimes it's kind of a humbling experience. So one advice I have for that is to push through that. And also at some point, if you feel like you're taking too much time to solve the coding interview questions, just look at the solutions, because at the end of the day, it's more of a skill to know how to get to the solution and not to know the solution for every problem. Like the walkthrough for each solution is more important to actually getting the solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there or are there any online resources or books you use during your preparation you want to share? Probably we can put the link in the description.
Yeah, for sure. So I use LEET Code.
Okay.
LEET Code is free and you can practice all kind of programming questions on that. To get the solutions for the LEET Code questions that I did not know the answer to, I would use YouTube, of course. Mainly those two, YouTube and LEET Code. And also, personal advice that I do, I have a notebook where I practice, I draw how data moves in through through the coding questions, like how the data moves in through the different data structures. So this is a personal tip this is a personal thing that I do that helps me a lot, but something different might work for different people.
Okay, interesting. So you heard what he said. Just click on the like button if you like what we are saying here, and then don't hesitate to go through different online resources, and that may help you probably get your interview and ace it like easily. And yeah, thank you so much for all these insights you're sharing today. And now let's probably move on the like experience, like intern real life experience and living in Seattle. And how was firstly your moving like from Massachusetts to Washington? Was it easy? Was it smooth? Does Microsoft even provide any help for that?
Yeah, so this is a thing that I loved about Microsoft. Like they care a lot about like the smoothness, like the transition from like their living place to workplace, So to move from Massachusetts to Seattle, Microsoft paid everything for me.
Okay.
They paid my flight ticket. They also provided me with free housing over there.
Oh, nice.
They housed me and other interns in a hotel over there, which was also located in downtown, which was really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, near downtown, which was really nice over there. And yeah, that's how Microsoft helped me in that. They also gave me like a discounted fare for rental cars.
Okay.
So I was able to rent cars at a very cheap price, and it would be deducted from my salary over there. And yeah, this is how Microsoft helped me. Oh,
nice, interesting. And how was your internship? Like, because I think people like usually say like, does really intern work in companies? Like, were you doing the coffees like I said, or what was the setting? What is a day in a life of an intern at Microsoft?
Okay, a day in the life. So usually I would set my alarm at 8:15, maybe 8:20, try to get breakfast, then drive to work. First thing I would do, maybe I would check my emails. Then if there's a meeting, I would attend the meeting. If not, then I would check what I have to do, if I have like a project to do or if I have something else to do. I remember at first though, like when I first started my internship, during the first 2 weeks I had no projects like really assigned. They just told me to like fix some bugs so that I know how the code base works. And afterwards they gave me like 3 projects to work during the whole summer.
Okay.
So maybe around like for 10 weeks, so 3 weeks per project, basically, almost.
Okay, so you actually deliver value, like it's not just like interning, like.
Yeah, I mean, I delivered something like one of my projects. I cannot go into details because it's like a secret thing. Yeah. But one of my projects has actually been delivered into full production. Like if anybody is using Outlook on their mobile phone right now, like they are using my project.
Oh, nice! That's interesting. You actually have like real impact on customers and during your internship, and I think that's a very good like feeling to have when you are going back. And so just back to the Seattle experience. What advice you would give like an intern like recruited by Amazon or even Microsoft who is moving to Seattle?
Okay, advice I would give to these people. So to these kind of people. Okay, first of all, Seattle is a very nice city. I would encourage to go around a lot and to try to explore the culture of the city. Second of all, if you can have like a car to drive around, that would be very helpful. Because for now the public transport system is not really at its best. But there will be the light rail that will be ready by 2026. Yeah. So there's that. I just think to living, I would say, I don't really have that much experience because I was an intern and they gave me free housing, so I don't have really that much experience so far. So unfortunately I cannot give that. But in terms of fun activities to do, there are so many stuff, like there's nightlife present almost everywhere. Even though I'm not really a nightlife person, like I don't really go out that much. It's still I can safely say that it is present everywhere. If you like rock climbing and stuff like that, in Seattle there are like maybe gazillion gyms just for rock climbing. Yeah. I think it's something really common too, that you see only software engineers doing rock climbing. That's something really common. And also actual hiking, you know, like West Coast, the Pacific Northwest, so many good hikes. Like I remember I think I went to like maybe 4 or 5 hikes this past summer with other intern friends.
Yeah, nice, interesting. Yeah, like I have also my colleagues like at Amazon also are hiking almost each weeks. Like I tried to go once, but I actually didn't. Like I feel like the time really flies, like so fast. Like I have been planning so many things, and Seattle is like a very very beautiful city. And during the summer, it's even more. Like we have so many things. You have so many activities to do. Like yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. And so, what will be your advice in terms of like internship itself? Like how to prepare to succeed in an internship?
Okay. The thing is, like, I know that for many people who got like an internship position at a big tech company or even anywhere else, actually, like especially as a software engineers, you try at first to not seek help that much, but I would try. But in my opinion, please ask for help because there are so many talented engineers over there. Your manager is there. Like even your full-time colleagues, the other software engineers, the senior software engineers, all of them, they are ready to help you. So whenever you have a question, don't hesitate to ask because they will be there to help you and they will help you succeed.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like it's not really all about figuring stuff by our own. I would say like maybe try figuring stuff by your own like for some time, and then if you're really stuck, just ask for help, and people will help you.
Nice. So don't like be curious and then also like very open-minded.
Yes.
How about networking?
Oh, networking, that's also like a very good thing to do.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're working in person, networking opportunities becomes endless. And again, at Microsoft, like we have so many departments. I worked at Outlook, but I was able to network with people from Xbox, from Microsoft Office, even from the new products, the new secret products that they're working on. And so it was great, like in terms of that. And people are very open into talking, I would say. Like even myself, I consider myself as an introvert. But you know, when you come there, they would smile at you. They would be like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, how is your first week going?" And talking to people and making connections is it's very easy. But you know, it's good to like go out there, talk. There are also a lot of events for interns organized by like by the higher ups. So I would encourage to attend those too. And yeah. That's it, basically.
And for you, doing the internship, was it like your goal was to get a return offer or like just enjoy the internship? What should be the initial goal? I know, like, I kind of know the response, but...
Okay, that's a very tricky question. What I would say though is like, for me personally, I wanted to get a full-time job there. Because the process of going through coding interviews is like very hard. And I didn't want to go through that again. So that's why I worked hard to get like a return offer. And as far as I know, in big tech companies, if you complete your projects in time and deliver, they will give you a full-time offer. That's how I know it goes.
And does it work for you like that?
I mean, it worked for me. To be fair, like I'm glad that I got a return offer because I didn't have to work on coding interviews for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was able to like maximize my last year in college too. I didn't have to worry about jobs that much too.
Yeah.
So it was good to have that. And now, you know, yeah, it's working well for me. Now I'm gonna graduate in a month.
Yeah.
And I will just prepare myself for that when the time comes.
Is it like first congratulations for your offer? And is it like more stressful like when you know that like you are on your probably last year, next year, and then you are doing your internship? What is the amount of stress probably it's bringing you when you are doing your internship? And how do you manage it? So
yeah, at first, like, you know, like you're here, in my case, I was in Microsoft. Like, I wanted to impress those people, right? So that was like a stressful part of it. Like I said earlier, like I gave an advice to always ask for questions. At the beginning, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
So that was like that made me very stressed. And once I learned that it's okay to ask for help, then it made me less stressful, you know.
Yeah.
And for that, I was able to deliver more. I put myself into a more healthier work routine too. And you know, also my colleagues were very helpful. They were very supportive. They made sure that I was well here first.
Yeah, mentally.
Before like actually doing work.
Nice, interesting. So yeah, thank you for the whole conversation and very insightful actually. We are probably at the end of this interview, and what are the like high takeaway or like tips you will give to like people watching us today?
So high takeaway is like, okay, first in the application process, it's a numbers game, right? At the end of the day, even if you get a lot of rejection, there will be at least one company that will accept you. So just keep on applying and applying and applying. Then an offer will eventually come. Always push through. Don't put yourself down because you got rejected. Like, it's okay. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
It happens to a lot of people. I know that you went through a similar thing too.
Yeah.
And thirdly, it's like to just enjoy the process. You know, like let's say if you even got an internship, enjoy the whole of it. Make a lot of friends, make a lot of connections. Try to enjoy the city you will be in if you're working in person, or even if you're working remote. Try to enjoy it as much as you can, and try to learn and grow from it too, and become a better person. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much for all this information. And don't hesitate to ask questions in the comment section. He will come and he will respond. I will also be there to respond to you. And don't be afraid to just apply it. I think one of the main advice that we can probably give you is like, don't hesitate to apply. Keep applying. Rejection are, I think, the whole part of the process. So just apply and be confident. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Yeah, just apply, be confident about it. It's okay even if you messed up in some interviews. Like, it's okay, it's a growth process, and as soon as you get that first offer, it will be all worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.